I'm going on an adventure! The truck's all loaded. Let's go on an adventure. Well, I'm all set up at camp. I'm at Ossineke State Forest Campground outside of Ossineke, Michigan. I wanted to, after I got everything set up, I wanted to give you a walk around of my solo camp setup, or if it's just me and my wife, or me and one of the kids, this is how we set up. So we'll start with the basics. This is a 2018 Toyota 4Runner. Has a small lift on it, nothing too crazy. Poly bump stops in the rear to keep things all supported, and 400-pound springs just to handle the extra weight, especially when we have everybody with us. I picked up this neat little tent off of Temu of all places, and it was pretty cheap at the time, and it just connects to the back of the tailgate. Really, really handy. It gives you an awning right there, and you can set up a little table underneath it if you just want to do that. Take a step inside here. I built a sleeping platform for the back, and that allows, as you can see, it's a nice 4-inch foam mattress that sits on top of it. Sleeping platform itself, really, really simple and cheap. And I've got some creature comforts, got my fan because it is a little warm here, and I've got the windows down, but I have the screen nettings over it to allow a little bit of airflow. Not much comes through there though, but this is a super, super comfortable spot to sleep at night. A couple other things. I've got a charging brick over there that can recharge the fan or my phone or whatever. And then I haven't set it up yet, but I'll put something to block the windshield off in just a minute. Moving through, come back around here, we have the Napa, the infamous Napa awning. It's an 8x8 awning. Easy enough to set up by myself. I only dropped it like twice, I think. Got my camp chair set up for the fire later. Everything's not totally organized, but food, water, and the game changer for this year. I had the fridge last year and it was great. It's a excellent place to keep water, chocolate milk, the other stuff, salsa. But I built a battery generator specifically to test out this trip, and then when we go out on our family camping trip next week, I'll take that with me. Solar panels right there, ready to go. I'll do a complete video on the build out of this solar generator, and look forward to that soon. Now the last part of the campground, or my campsite actually, is straight that way. Let's go take a look at Lake Huron. just really living my best deserted island life. This is crazy. Like, there's nobody here. I've got books, I've got snacks, I've got a comfortable chair. This is awesome. Well, I've tried to keep the actual like camp tasks to a minimum. I'm not cooking anything crazy, but one of the things that I have to have in a campsite is a fire. So I'm building one tonight. I'm getting it ready. It's like 5 o'clock, and I want to build it now to get it ready before I want to have the fire, because that's no fun trying to put that all together in the dark. I've got some napkins from earlier today from lunch. I've got some pine cones, and then I just did a quick collection of some sticks. I found a standing dead smaller pine tree, cut a few sections off with the pocket chainsaw, and just put it all together now. She's all ready. I'm going to split that up into some kindling sections, and then I have some hardwood that I brought in with me or that I bought here, because you can't transport firewood in Michigan. Good morning. Day 2. Almost had to pack up and go home, or at least go somewhere else. You see, an important part of staying in the woods for me is being, self-sufficient, cooking my own food. In the mornings, that means boiling water so that I can make coffee in my AeroPress. Well, this morning, as I'm warming water, the flame on my trusty stove all of a sudden sputters and dies. Some of you may already know, and you're like, yeah, you need to do this. Yep. I needed to take it all apart and clean out the jet where I found one little speck of dirt. That one little speck of dirt held up the entire process to where now it is, about 11 o'clock, and I just finished my coffee. I was so frustrated. I was ready to give up in that moment. But I stepped back, I took a breath, did some reading, and figured out what I had to do. Maybe that's where you're at. Maybe you've hit a roadblock. Just seemingly can't go on with whatever the plan was that you had. In that moment, take a second, breathe. Do some research if you need to. Come back to the problem with new eyes to see if you can continue on. There's my tip for the day. It's been a long day, and dinner is served. I mentioned before that I'm trying not to do a whole bunch of duties around camp. My goal has been to relax, read books, meditate, just chill, really. So, I went with some freeze-dried meals for this trip, just to make it easy. Tonight, going with the tried and true Mountain House beef stroganoff. There it is. Beef stroganoff, my absolute favorite of all their meals. Mountain House. You want to sponsor me? Come on. Holla at your boy. Get you into this market. I mean, this stuff is delicious. It's so good. It's so easy. And now that my stove is fixed, I boiled water super quick and it's ready to eat in 10 minutes. You can't beat that. Hey, Matt here. I was putting this video together. It's months later. And I realized at some point I just stopped filming. And there's reasons for that. You may have noticed in the logo for the channel that there's northern lights in the background of the mountains. I love chasing the northern lights and trying to capture them on camera. It's a fun experience. So while I was out there camping, I got an alert on my phone from an app that I use. It's called Aurora Pro if you're interested. And it said that the Northern Lights would be possible that night. And knowing that I was like 45 minutes away from our cabin in a really great spot to chase the lights, I decided to pack up and head over there for the last night and day of my trip. So I did. I packed everything up. It doesn't take long with the rig, and headed out. On my way out, I stopped at a restaurant that was recommended by a friend, and I'll put it here. Uh, Man, the breakfast there was incredible, and my friend said you need to order a cinnamon roll from there. Cool. On my order, I just said, "Can I have a cinnamon roll to go?" I am not joking when I tell you that the cinnamon roll was as big as my head. Gigantic. My diabetes intensified by like 1,000%. So I ate breakfast. I had a couple bites of the cinnamon roll, hit the road. Made it to the cabin, set up shop there. It's nice and comfortable and easy to do that. And got settled in for the Northern Lights. But inevitably, the chase of the Northern Lights is just that, a chase. As I watched through the day, the conditions worsened and worsened, and it was just cloudy, and I wasn't going to be able to see anything. So I just made a night of it. Watched a movie, read a book, made some good food, and just settled in at the cabin. After that, it was a quick and easy pack up, and on my way home. It was a great trip. I do this trip by myself every year, and I talked about that a little bit and why I do it. It's a chance for me to focus and reflect on the past year and celebrating the life that I've had. It's a good time. I wanted to close this out somehow because it was just abrupt as I was putting it together. And again, it's months later. It's February. It's snowing outside. This was in August. I'm a little behind on it. But I hope you'll bear with me as I start to put these together more and more often and just kind of cataloging the things that I like to do, and I want to invite others to be a part of it. So whatever you do, get out and have an adventure. See you next time.